What if everything you see, hear, and touch, every person you meet, every step you take, is part of a grand illusion, meticulously constructed to keep you trapped in a simulated reality? Picture this. You wake up to the smell of coffee brewing, the sound of birds chirping outside your window. It's an ordinary morning, right? But as you go about your day, something begins to feel off. The world around you seems too perfect, too organized. People act like they're following a script. You pass a stranger in the street, and their eyes linger on you for just a fraction too long. The oddest sensation bubbles up. What if this is all just a simulation? This question, seemingly outlandish, isn't so far-fetched after all. In fact, there's a growing belief that we may be living in a world designed by some unseen force. A world where our every move, every decision, is part of a digital construction, manipulated by algorithms beyond our comprehension. It's as if we're all players in an advanced game, aware of only the small piece of the universe we interact with, but oblivious to the greater machine keeping everything running. It all starts with something small, a glitch in the system. One day, you see a flicker on your screen, a strange pause in a conversation, or maybe a déjà vu so intense it feels like you've lived this moment before. These anomalies are tiny threads in the fabric of our perceived reality, offering the first crack in the facade. But are they just random coincidences? Or are they signals from the real world breaking through the illusion? What if the truth is that we're not just living in a world full of random events? What if everything, from the way the sun rises to the way we think, is controlled by an unseen force? Imagine this. Just like a video game where you move through levels, each step you take might be guided by an invisible hand. And you, unknowingly, are the main character. Now consider this. You've seen it happen, haven't you? In the small, everyday details. How the right opportunity just happens to present itself at the right moment. How you're always in the right place at the right time, or how a conversation leads you to answers you didn't even know you were searching for. It's as if the universe is pulling strings, weaving these moments together for you, guiding your path. It sounds far-fetched, but it's a feeling most of us experience at least once in our lives, this nagging sense that something or someone is quietly orchestrating our existence. And then there's the cutting-edge theory that, like a whispered secret, suggests we might not even be here at all. We might be running in a simulation so sophisticated it feels real. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. This isn't just idle speculation. There are scientific theories that hint we could be living in a simulation. The idea isn't as absurd as it might sound. Advanced computer simulations, already capable of mimicking the most complex behaviors and environments, might one day create digital worlds indistinguishable from our own. In fact, some suggest that those worlds could already exist, right now, around us, embedded within every moment, every interaction, every experience. How would we even know? If we live in a world designed by someone or something else, the very idea of reality could be an illusion, a sophisticated trick. Take a moment. What if everything that seems familiar to you, your thoughts, your desires, even your body, is part of this illusion, built from zeros and ones, masking the true nature of the universe? It's not just science fiction. In fact, some of the most brilliant minds in the world suggest this idea might be more plausible than we think. They argue that as technology advances, it will eventually reach a point where simulations become so advanced that distinguishing them from real life becomes impossible. And once that threshold is crossed, the question becomes, how do we know we're not already there? But there's more. Have you ever wondered why certain moments feel too perfect, too synchronistic, almost as though the universe is responding directly to your thoughts? It's as though the world is constantly watching, adjusting, and curating your experience. Maybe, just maybe, it's doing exactly that, altering the environment in real time, as if tweaking the settings of a video game to suit the player. You might think it's just coincidence, or perhaps an odd feeling you can't shake. But this sensation could be a signal, a tiny clue that hints at something deeper, a more intricate web of control woven around us. Let's pause for a second to explore the fascinating nature of reality. Right now, you're reading these words, processing images, sounds, and thoughts. Yet, what if all of this is being filtered through an unseen lens, and what you're truly experiencing is not the outside world, but an advanced simulation of it? The air you breathe, the people you meet, the sensations you feel, they might all be carefully crafted digital constructs designed to react to you, shape your decisions, and create the illusion of a real world. Think about it. The boundaries of space, time, and physics that govern our lives seem immutable until they don't. There are forces at play, hidden from us, which sometimes shift in ways we can't fully comprehend. These shifts, these unexplainable phenomena, might be clues that the code of our existence is far from flawless. Imagine a world where reality isn't set in stone, but instead is a fluid, adaptable canvas, where the illusion of the world around us can be altered or manipulated without us even realizing it. And it doesn't stop there. The more we learn about quantum mechanics, the more this idea starts to take root. We've long known that the universe behaves unpredictably on the smallest scales, particles that can be in two places at once or act differently when observed. It's as if the very act of observation changes the fabric of reality itself, like the world is somehow waiting for us to notice it. What if this waiting is part of the illusion, part of the simulation, carefully engineered to make us think we're seeing things as they are, when in fact, we're only seeing what's been coded for us to perceive? In the end, there's no easy way to answer the question of whether we're living in a simulation. The truth may be hidden just beyond our understanding, concealed behind the very mechanisms that make us feel alive. But next time you feel a flicker, a strange sensation, or the unnerving sense that something is slightly off, remember, it might not just be your imagination. It could be a glitch in the system, a reminder that the world you think you know could be nothing more than an elaborate, perfectly designed illusion. And then, just as you're starting to accept the possibility, just as you're beginning to see the edges of the illusion, something shifts in the world around you. It happens again. You're walking down the street, caught in thought, when you hear a loud crash behind you. You spin around, expecting to see something fall or a car skidding out of control, but there's nothing. No debris, no accident, just the ordinary hustle of the world moving forward as if nothing happened. You blink. Was it a figment of your imagination? A trick of the mind? But the unsettling feeling lingers. You can't shake the sense that the world, in this moment, rearranged itself, just for you, just to see if you'd notice. This, too, is a clue. It's not a glitch. It's not a misstep in the script of the simulation. It's something far deeper, a signal that the very nature of reality is far more fluid, more malleable than you've ever been taught to believe. Reality, as you experience it, isn't fixed. It's constantly adjusting, shifting, changing, molding itself around you, like a video game that's recalibrating in real time to match your movements. The truth is, you might not just be in the simulation, you might be shaping it. Consider this. Have you ever had that moment where you seem to will something into existence? Something minor, something you hadn't even thought to make happen, but it does, nonetheless. You think of a song and seconds later it plays on the radio. You remember a forgotten name, and suddenly it pops into your head. You feel like you're being watched, and then someone calls your name from behind you. Could it be that reality is waiting for your cues? That your thoughts, your consciousness might be the very thing driving the simulation, making the world react to you in real time? It's not just a passive experience anymore. It's as if you've become part of the system, an integral part of the equation, shaping what happens next. But what if this isn't just a simple coincidence? What if the forces behind the simulation are so advanced that they can tailor the world not just for you, but based on the deepest, most hidden recesses of your mind? You've experienced it, those moments where things feel too perfect, where everything aligns a little too neatly, as if reality itself is bending to reflect your innermost thoughts. It's as though the simulation is listening, waiting for your next move. The more you pay attention to these strange, synchronistic events, the more you start to notice how your environment seems to shift subtly, almost imperceptibly, in response to your awareness. Take a moment. The world you're living in might be far more interactive than you've ever imagined. It's not just a backdrop to your life. It's alive, dynamic, and capable of bending, reshaping itself around the decisions you make, the very choices you think are yours to control. In fact, every moment you step into might be part of a vast, hyper-responsive network. A simulation so intricate, it adjusts the parameters of reality to ensure your existence feels both real and stable. What you're witnessing isn't random. It's a design, a system that adapts to your awareness and choices. This is where the unsettling truth becomes clearer. The more you observe, the more aware you become, the more real the simulation seems to become, as if the very fabric of the illusion is tied to your perception of it. It's almost like a game, but not one you can play alone. It's a game that plays you too. The more you understand about the code, the way the world shifts and flickers, the more it seems as though reality is constantly adjusting, reloading, updating its rules to fit your understanding of it. But here's the mind-bending part. What if the very things you've considered impossible, telepathic connections, precognition, the feeling of déjà vu, are actually part of the simulation's intricate design? What if the strange, otherworldly phenomena we dismiss as coincidences or anomalies are, in fact, features of a reality that is being continuously optimized and recalibrated to react to us, its players? These unexplainable events, these mysteries, could be the simulation's way of testing the boundaries, seeing how far it can push you before you begin to question everything. Every unexplained event, every inexplicable experience might be a hidden door, a crack in the code, revealing more of the truth behind the veil. Have you ever had a feeling that you're breaking the rules? That something you thought was fixed, a law of nature perhaps, or a boundary you've always accepted, suddenly seems a little more bendable? You know those moments when something happens that defies logic or reason, but the world doesn't quite collapse? Perhaps, just perhaps, those moments are the system testing its limits, trying to figure out how much it can alter reality without you noticing. It's as if the rules are adjustable, flexible, malleable, not set in stone. The more you notice these shifts, the clearer it becomes. The system can bend reality to your perception of it. Take a step back. Reflect on this for a moment. If you're in a world that is capable of shifting and changing, a world that seems to bend and adapt with every thought you have, what does that mean for your role in it? Are you merely a player in someone else's game? Or are you the key architect, the one whose consciousness is shaping every detail, every decision, every moment that unfolds? What if the simulation is designed not just to create a world for you to experience, but to teach you that reality is a construct, and that you hold the power to manipulate it in ways you can't yet fully understand? Now, think of the vast implications of this. Could the simulation be more than just a game? Could it be a mirror of your own consciousness, reflecting back every belief, every thought, every desire you've ever had? Is it possible that the more you learn about the nature of the world, the more you uncover the hidden secrets that are woven into the fabric of this reality? And if that's true, if your consciousness is a key to unlocking the true nature of the simulation, then what happens when you realize that the very essence of your being is connected to the mechanics of the world around you? What if, just by acknowledging it, you have the power to reshape your reality, not just in small, subtle ways, but in ways that could break the system entirely? Now the mystery deepens. The question is no longer, are we in a simulation, but how deep does it go? And perhaps more importantly, what happens when we wake up? You wake up one morning, feeling as though something is different. The air feels charged, like the world itself is holding its breath. You go through your usual routine, but today there's an underlying hum to reality. You walk down the street, noticing details that usually go unnoticed, the slight distortion in the faces of strangers as they pass. It's as if the world is glitching again, but this time it's more intense, more intentional. Then, in an almost imperceptible moment, something clicks. You realize that the world isn't just adjusting to your awareness. It's responding to your very consciousness, to your thoughts, desires, and beliefs. It's not just a passive system. It's an interactive living entity, constantly evolving with you. Your thoughts, no matter how small, are no longer just abstract ideas floating in your mind. They are shaping the reality you experience, bending it to fit the framework of your understanding. The system is reacting to you on a quantum level. The idea of consciousness as a force, that your mind can truly influence the world, has become undeniable. Think about it. You've seen it in your own life. Those moments where the improbable happens, an unexpected opportunity, an encounter that seems too perfect to be random. It's as if the universe is arranging itself around your deepest intentions. This isn't coincidence. It's the nature of a reality that is malleable, responsive to your awareness. The world is not just a passive backdrop. It is a canvas, and your mind is the artist. The simulation isn't just a structure you're trapped in. It's your creation. You are the architect of the world around you. Every thought, every emotion, every choice sends ripples through the very fabric of reality. It's a profound realization. You're not merely in the simulation, you're shaping it. So if this is true, if the world is indeed malleable to your will, what does that mean for you? Are you ready to take control? To question the very rules that govern your existence and unlock a reality beyond the illusion? The mystery remains. If you could reshape reality, what would you create?